Yes. Okay. We have discussed in previous lecture, that is the simple block diagram of the energy battery management systems. We have discussed simple block diagram of the battery management systems. Okay. So what is the function of the battery management systems? Already everybody knows. Okay, we have discussed in previous lecture what is the function of the battery management systems. So store the electrical energy. Okay, means battery pack is also part of the battery management system. Battery pack is nothing but which is the device which is storing the electrical energy. The device which is storing the energy. Okay, maybe a mechanical energy or maybe a electrochemical energy like batteries. Okay, delivers energy to the vehicle systems, communicate with other vehicle model for proper vehicle functions. Okay, maintain the safe vehicle operation. These are the main functions of the uh, battery management systems. Okay, what is the function of the battery management systems? Okay, why we are using the battery management systems? Okay, first of all, it store the energy. Okay, it store the energy, as well as it should be supply the energy to the vehicle running, a vehicle moving, or vehicle propelling. That is the second function. Clear. And third function is the it should monitor the all the parameters of the battery pack. It should monitor the all the parameters of the battery pack. All the parameters is nothing but voltage of the cell, okay, in a battery. Okay, and current, cell balancing, temperature, thermal monitoring, and so on, etc. Okay, so all these parameters should be monitored by the battery management for the safe of operation. So let's see here. uh, the high level basics of what role the battery management systems play in power design and what components are necessary for their basic functions. Okay, nowadays lithium ion batteries very much popular. Okay, with energy densities up to 265 watt hour per kg. They do, however, have the reputation of occasionally bursting and burning all that energy should they experience excessive stress. Okay, they do, however, they have the reputation of occasionally bursting and burning out all the energy should they experience excessive stress. Means what we can say here simply, the nowadays lithium ion batteries are much popular in the vehicles. Okay, for using in vehicles, lithium ion batteries must much popular because these lithium ion batteries are they should face the excessive stresses. Means even though if voltage levels are increased, even though current levels are increased, if any load are increased on the battery. Okay, so this lithium ion batteries can be adjustable or can be withstand. So that's why what we can say, the lithium ion batteries can experience excessive stresses, can experience excessive stresses. Okay, due to this withstand capability, with due to this withstand capability, so the lithium ion batteries are much popular compared with the other types of batteries. Okay, whatever in the here we are going to discuss the basics of the battery management concept, battery management system concept. Okay, a few fundamental parts that make up the typical BMS. So here you can see one more block diagram of the battery management system. So this is the one type of battery management means this is the one type of block diagram of the battery management system, and this is the another type of the. Also, we can draw the block diagram of the battery management system like this. Sorry for that, it will be muted. So here, a simple brief, we can easily understand from this block diagram. So, but here we cannot easily understand from this diagram of battery management system. Okay, so here you can see simply we can easily understand. These are the batteries. These are the battery. So if you are taking the one battery, for example, if you can take the number of batteries and all these batteries are connected in series like that, it will form as a battery pack. It will form as a battery pack. So if you take the one battery, so battery is having two terminals, positive terminal and negative terminal. Okay, it is having number of cells. Okay, cell 1, cell 2, cell 3 and cell 4. It is having number of cells, cell 1, cell 2, cell 3 and cell 4. So means we have to maintain the, we have to monitor the all cell voltage levels. Okay, this is the function of the, this is the one of the main function of the battery management systems. For that purpose, we are going to use the cell monitoring and cell balancer. Okay, one we are using the one control unit. Okay, main control unit. So this main control unit will monitor the cell voltage and cell current levels. Okay, because we have to maintain the equal voltage levels, we have to maintain the equal current sharing levels. Okay, whatever this cell is sharing the, for example, 0.5 amperes, this cell should also share the 0.5 amperes, 0.5 amperes and 0.5 amperes. If one cell is sharing the 1 ampere and another cell is sharing the only 0.5 amperes and another cell is sharing the only 0.3 amperes, like that imbalance, whenever this imbalance current is sharing, then what will happening, the load will be applied on one cell and load will be decreased on the other cell. So whatever the cell which is having the high load, which is facing the high load, then what will happening, the temperature of the cell is increases. Okay, due to this there is a chance to damage the cell. Okay, due to this there is a chance to damage the cell. So that's why we have to maintain the equal voltage and equal current sharing levels in the each cell. Clear? So that is the one of the main function of the battery management system. So at the same time, if we have to identify, we have to monitor the battery management system should monitor the overcurrent. The battery management system should monitor the overcurrent. Okay, because if current is exceeds some value, if current is exceeds some value, then what will happen, the temperature is increases, the temperature increases, there is a chance to damage the battery. So if the battery damages, the vehicle efficiency of the vehicle will going to be decreases. The vehicle efficiency of the vehicle is going to be decreases. Clear? So the for safe of operation, we have to monitor the current each and every time. Okay, that is the over current or by the low under current or low value of the current on so on etc. For this monitoring the over current, we are using the one current sensors. We are using the one current sensor. Okay, this current sensor will send the current, how much current is flowing through the circuit, and it will say the signal is sent to the main control unit. Okay, the signal is sent to the main control unit. If any excessive current is flowing, if any excessive current is flowing, here we are providing the one fuse. Here we are providing the one fuse. This fuse should be blow. This fuse should be blow. Okay, whenever this fuse should blow, then what will happen, it will be isolated the circuit. It will be isolated the circuit. So due to this isolation, then we can protect the batteries as well as circuit also. We can protect the system also, we can protect the battery also. Isolate means suppression. Okay, we have to open the circuit. So like this way, we have to monitor the overcurrent. We have to monitor the each voltage of this each voltage levels of the each cell. We have current sharing of the each cell. Okay, temperature of the each cell and so on, etc. For identifying the temperature, we are using the one temperature sensor. Okay, this temperature sensor also will always monitor the temperature of the battery or temperature of the each cell, and this temperature, how much temperature is there in the battery, the temperature signal is given to the main control unit. If any temperature high temperature is excess, okay, if any high temperatures occurs, then immediately the circuit should be open. So how this circuit should be will be open? Based on the signal coming from the main control unit. Clear? So like this way, we are using the one bidirectional solid state switch here. So by opening and closing of the switches, the battery pack will be separated. So like this way, we can monitor or we can manage the power or voltage and current levels or temperature levels in the battery. So this is the called as the battery management systems. Okay. Okay, here we can see these simpler systems is that a designer is bound to what the given parts offer, high or low side switch without customization. When we are using the more cells, okay, a balancing system is needed. Okay, whenever we are using the more cells, balancing system is needed. Simple scheme that still function without an MCU exists in ancient figure. So here, in previous diagram, what we can say, we are using the MCU, main control unit. So, but in the case of whenever we are using the number of cells, okay, we are using the more cells. So without to monitor the voltage, current sharing, and temperature on each cell, so we can monitor without any main control unit, without any main MCU, main control unit. So by using this diagram, we can monitor the voltage levels of the each cell without MCU, without main control unit. Okay, so we are not going to in depth of this operation of this circuit. So no need also, just remember. Okay. Okay. Additionally, what BMS? What exactly do? Okay. So voltage minimum and maximum cell voltage. Okay, it should monitor the voltage. It should monitor the voltage. Yes, because of network issue here, I'm connected through my mobile. Some voice is not clear. Okay, so voltage, the battery management system should be monitor the voltage levels. That is the minimum voltage level, maximum voltage level in each cell of the battery. Next, state of charge. State of charge or depth of dash. Okay, this is also a function of the battery management system. State of charge is nothing but at which rate the battery is going to charge. Okay, at which rate the battery is going to charge. What will be the charging percentage? What will be the charging percentage? So all these things will be monitored by the battery management system. That is referred as a state of charge. Okay. Next, depth of discharge. Depth of discharge is nothing but whenever the particular value, whenever the battery charging levels are decreases, okay, beyond some particular level. Okay, for example, if D1 is 5%, if D1 means depth of discharge is, for example, is 10%. Okay, if the battery decreases and only charging level is 10% is there, so if we are using that battery more than below the 10%, then what will happen? The battery is going to be damages. The lifetime of the battery is going to be decreases. That's why, so if the depth of discharge is 10%, so we have to charge again. We have to charge the battery again. Okay, we should not use this below 10%. Okay, we should not use the battery below 10%. So this depth of discharge also should be monitored by the battery management system. Depth of discharge should be monitored by the battery management system. Okay, so whenever this battery discharge level is decreased below this value, so immediately it will display the message, it will display the status of the battery. So in order to start the charging again. Clear? So state of health, so means lifetime of the battery is also main important. Okay, it is also monitor of the battery management system. It is also functioned by the battery management systems. So next, test of power. So what will be the power stage? Okay, that is depends upon the charging and discharge. That is also depends upon the load. Okay, so all these things, each and every time the power of the battery the power of the battery should be monitored. Okay, the power level should be monitored by the battery management systems. Okay, at each and every time. Next, state of safety. So safety is also main function. Okay, for the safety we are going to design the battery management systems. Okay, for the safety purpose we are going to design the battery management systems. Okay, so safety also, it should be displayed what will be the safety status of the battery. Okay, if the current rating of the batteries, for example 5 amperes. Okay, the current rating of the battery is 5 amperes. If any load is increases, and the motor is taking the 20 amperes current from the battery, if the motor is taking the 20 amperes current from the battery, then what will happen? The capacity of the battery is 5 amperes, but if you are taking the 20 amperes from the battery, then what will happen? There is a chance to damage the battery. So immediately the battery management system should display the state of safety. So okay, because if immediately it will give the red signal. Immediately it will give the red signal, means the battery current is increases, the temperature level is increases. So immediately we have to decrease the current. So we are not decreasing the current, then what will happening? The battery is going to be damages. This is called as a safe state of safety. At each and every time, the battery should be operated in a safe region. The battery should be operated in a safe region. Maximum charge current as a charge current limit. This is CCR. Okay, constant current. Charge current limiting. So at the same time, we have to charge the battery in a specified value. At the same time, we have to charge the battery in a specified value. For example, if the manufacturer is provided, the battery should be charged maximum up to 10 amperes, 10 amperes of current. If you charge the battery is 50 amperes, if you charge the battery with a 50 amperes, then what will happen? Again, the uh, charging current limit is exceeded. Charging current is limiting. Charging current limit is exceeded. Then what will happen? This is also there is a chance to damage the battery. So that's why this charging current limiting also should be monitored by the battery management system. At the same time, maximum discharge current. Okay, discharge current also. Okay, maximum discharge current, if you mention the 20 amperes, okay, if his manufacturer is maintain the maximum discharge current level is 20 amperes. If any load is increases and the motor is taking the 50 amperes current, for example, if the motor is taking the 50 amperes current, means this is the discharging current. This is the discharge current. Okay, discharge current level is 20 amperes only. So if the discharge current level is increases beyond this value, okay, so then what will happen? Again, the temperature is increases. Again, the temperature increases, and heating the battery is going to be damages. So that's why the battery management system should always monitor the discharge current limiting also. Discharge current limiting. ओके इस टाइम पे कितना डिस्चार्जिंग करंट हो रहा है, इस टाइम पे कितना डिस्चार्जिंग करंट हो रहा है. ओके दैट करंट इज विद इन ए स्पेसिफाइड वैल्यू और नॉट, that current is within a specified value or not. Okay, if it exceeds this specified value, immediately it will give the some signals. Immediately it will give the some signals to the operator. Clear? Operator means here what? Driver. At the same time, cycles, okay, charging cycles. Okay, for example, the battery charging and discharging cycle is, for example, 1000 times, 1000 times. So if this the charging and discharging cycle is increases, so the battery management system should provide the signals to the operator. So the life cycle of the charge cycle of the batteries is exceeded. Okay, the charge cycle of the battery is exceeded, like that way. Okay, if the charge cycles are exceeded beyond that value, then what will happen? The lifetime of the battery is going to be decreases. The lifetime of the battery is going to be decreases. Okay, next, internal impedance of the cell. Okay, so obviously whenever the it is a closed path is there, the when the current is flowing, it will have the some resistance and induct reactances. Okay, means it will have the some impedances. Okay, the internal impedance of cell is also most important point. Okay, if the impedance is high, the voltage drop is also increase. The voltage drop is also increase. So that's why it will always calculate the internal impedance of the each cell. Okay, internal impedance of the each cell. At the same time, it will be operated the impedance or the open circuit or as well as short circuited. Okay, total energy delivered since first use. So, for example, we are using the battery from this date to this date. Okay, from this time to, for example, this is the time one, this is the time two. Means, for example, we are using the battery since last from 10 days. We are using the battery since from last 10 days. So up in last 10 days, how much energy is delivered? How much energy is delivered by the battery? Okay, that is also most important point. Clear? So total operating time since first use, जब से आपने चालू किया यूज करना है, कितना टाइम, कितने आवर्स ये ऑपरेटिंग में. So that is also should be calculated by the battery management systems. That is also should be calculated by the battery management system. Means how much power deliver की है, how many times charging and discharging हुए है. Okay, so how much time ये battery operating conditions में है, how much time use की है. Okay, so all these functions should be monitored by the battery management systems. All these functions should be monitored by the battery management systems. So this is the one more typical block diagram of the battery management systems. Means different authors drawn the different types of block diagram of the battery management system. But the total whole concept is same. But the total whole concept is same. Clear? CAN. Okay, CAN means what can say here? Control area network. So what is the function of the control area network here? So here we have seen the in last week. Okay, CAN bus, control area network bus. What is the function of this control area network bus? So the control area network bus is one of the most well-structured communication protocols. It is one of the most well-structured communication protocols for a serial bus communication system. The control area network bus system is used to connect the multiple control systems. Okay, this control area network bus system is used to connect the multiple control system in a single large network. So means we are using the, for example, multiple control system. This is the control circuit 1. Okay, this is the control circuit 2. Okay, control circuit 2. And this is the control circuit 3. Okay, so whatever we are using the number of controlling circuits, all these control circuits should be connected to the one common bus. Okay, all these controlling circuits should be connected to the one common bus. Okay, this is called as a control area network. This is called as a control area network bus. CAN bus. Clear? So all these control area networks are connected to a common bus that is called as a control area network bus. So this the control area network bus is based on the messages nodes of the network that do not require any specific address, okay, their node to which information has to be conveyed will have address. Okay, will have the address of the message beyond the transmitted and thereby intimating the priority of the system the needs do not have. So the nodes do not have. So what we can say here, simple in one sentence we can say, this controlled area network bus should monitor the all the controlling should it is used as a common bus, which is the bus which is monitoring the all the control systems in one network, all the control parameters in one bus, one network. Okay, that is called as the controlled area network bus. So motor control subsystem, the motor controller. The motor control main function is to limit the current going to the motor and control the motor speed. The complex of the various technologies used in marketing. So whatever we are using the controller circuit for the motor, whatever we are using the controller circuit for the motor. So what it should be monitored. So it should always control the speed of the motor. Also, it will always control the current of the motor. Okay, always it will limit the current of the motor. Always it will limit the speed of the motor. So for that purpose, we are using the motor controller. Okay. So motor controller ECU, electronic control unit. The motor controller works mainly because of the amount of throttle applied on the accelerator. Okay, the motor controller works mainly because of the amount of throttle applied on the accelerator. Means what we can say, जो ब्रेक के पेडल रहता है, ब्रेक के पेडल और एक्सेलरेटर के पेडल रहते हैं, तो एक्सेलरेटर का पेडल कैसे ऑपरेट होता है, जब ड्राइवर प्रेस करते हैं उसको. Okay, जब when the driver is applied force on the accelerator, okay, based on this how much force is applied on the accelerator, based on that way the motor controller should be work accordingly. So if more force is applied on the accelerator, more force is applied on accelerator, it means that the speed of the motor, the speed of the vehicle is increases. Okay, so again I will repeat the sentence. When the we are applying the more force on the we are applying the more force on the accelerator, it means that the speed of the vehicle should be increases. It means that the speed of the vehicle should be increases. In order to increase the speed of the vehicle, what we can say, so the motor should be, the motor speed should be increases. The motor speed should be increases. So how this motor speed can be increases? The motor controller will understand. Okay, will understand the how much force is applied on the accelerator. Okay, how much force is applied on the accelerator. Accordingly, it will generate the voltage. Accordingly, it will generate the voltage to the motor. If the voltage is increased, the speed of the motor is also increased. The motor speed is increased, thus vehicle speed is also increased. The vehicle speed is also increases. Clear? So obviously the RPM, rotations per minute, is also increases. So if the less force is applied on the accelerator, if the less force is applied on the accelerator, less force is applied on the accelerator, it means that the vehicle speed is going to be decreases. It means that the vehicle speed is going to be decreases. It means that the motor speed is going to be decreases. Okay, so the vehicle speed should be decreases. For that purpose, the motor speed should be controlled. The motor speed should be controlled. So how we can control the motor speed? So the controller circuit, whatever we are using the electronic controller for the motor, so that should be decrease the voltage levels which is giving to the motor. That should be decrease the voltage levels which is giving as an input for the motor. When the voltage of the input motor is decreases, the speed is also decreases. The speed is also decreases. So like this way, so the motor controller with ECU will be works accordingly. Breakover travel switch. Breakover travel switch is nothing but DOTS. It is the safety switch installed in the brake pedal of the vehicle the safety becomes active when the vehicle runs out of the brake. Okay, out of the brake fluid, or when the brake fluid mechanism fails. So the BOTs gets pressed when the pedal becomes loose due to the lack of fluid, and thereby triggering a safety mechanism which de-energizes the main contact relay that cuts the supply to the motor, and the vehicle comes to the standstill. So what we can see here, in case for in any emergency cases, in case any emergency cases, if any brake is failure, if any brake is failure, if you are using the fluid brake, okay, so if anything brake is failure, then what will happening, we have to provide the one more switch extra additionally. Okay, that switch is called as a brake over travel switch. That switch is called as a brake over travel switch. Okay, whenever this switch is the switch is the brake, what we can see here, the switch is moved to the whatever the switch is we have provided for emergency purposes. Then what will happening? The BOTS gets pressed, brake over travel switch gets pressed when the pedal becomes loose due to the lack of fluid, and thereby getting the safety. So when this BOTS gets pressed, then what will happen? It will de-energize the main contactor. It will de-energize the main contactor. De-energize the main contactor means whatever the current is flowing through the motor windings. Okay, so it will be de-energized. Whenever this motor will be de-energized, then what will happening? The motor is going to comes to the off position. The motor is going to comes to the off position. De-energize means supply को cut off करना. मोटर को जो सप्लाई मिलता है उसको कट ऑफ करना. उसको कट ऑफ किया तो क्या हो जाएगा, ऑटोमेटिकली मोटर इज गोइंग टू बी stop. The motor is going to be stopped. If the motor is stopped, then what will happening? The speed of the vehicle is also going to stop. The speed of the vehicle is also going to stop. Clear? So this is the purpose of the brake over travel switch. Means it is the simply backup protection switch. Backup protection as a brake. Backup protection as a brake. Okay, accelerator, brake pedal already we have discussed. Clear?